Next, we're going to just take a real quick look at A.L.Brown and Hickory Ridge. Of course, this is another one of those conference rematches. Hickory Ridge having a great season, 11-1. The two teams did play previously, 63-42 Hickory Ridge ball game. Max Preps is saying calling a 42-40 game. To me, I think this is Hickory Ridge's game to lose. I'm going to pick them by 2 scores. I think A.L.Brown gave up a whole lot of points in the previous meeting. We've seen some other games this year where they've also given up a lot of points. They have a lot of defensive, apparently, issues. Sometimes, you know, it's easier to put a defense in place, but sometimes it's tougher to make the adjustments on defense, you know, within a season. You know, it's usually harder to put an offense in place and implement, you know, get it going, and your defense may be ahead. But I think it's tougher once, you know, you're into the season to make adjustments on your defense, and to be able to make enough adjustments to shut them down from 63 points into a respectable point range. I think that's going to be tough. They can probably do that, but then that respectable point range is still going to probably be in the 30 to 40 point range. And A.L.Brown, on the other hand, has shown some tendency to not being able to put the points on the board. So I'm picking a Hickory Ridge in a 2-score game. It wouldn't surprise me if A.L.Brown wins, but I'm picking Hickory Ridge.
Yeah, I mean, you make very valid points that, you know, Kannapolis has had some struggles on defense, and, you know, they struggled last week, I think, on both sides of the ball. I mean, they were down 34-20 and had to come from a mile away with less than 2.5 minutes left to win, to, you know, take North Forsyth in overtime at 34 apiece, and then they pulled it out 41-34. But even though Kannapolis lost pretty convincingly to Hickory Ridge 63-42 earlier in the season, it's hard to beat a very good team twice in one season. And with that being said, I think Kannapolis will have just enough to pull it out. And I'm just going to say I pick Kannapolis to win by 3 points, you know, win by field goal. And, you know, like I said, my girlfriend's a Hickory Ridge fan. Hate to go against them, but my gut tells me that, you know, this A.L.Brown will take this one. Sorry, babe, but that's just how I see it. And I'll eat crow if I'm wrong. I promise you. So.
Well, for me, I would say, you know, giving up 63 points is a huge red flag. Even if you know you're going into a rematch situation, what can you do to not give up that many points? Like you mentioned, Dale, I think, you know, the score will be a little lower this time, because I think A.L.Brown will make a few adjustments to make things a little closer. But then again, you know, A.L.Brown scored 42 on Hickory Ridge, so I think Hickory Ridge will also make some defensive adjustments to make the game a little closer. Excuse me. But I think in the end, Hickory Ridge is going to win it by 1 to 2 scores. I think it will be a good close ball game. Hickory Ridge wins that triple option, which is tough to stop. Ledford had a lot of trouble stopping it last week. And I think the only team that really held Hickory Ridge down is Concord, and Hickory Ridge beat them by 3. So, you know, the talent is comparable, but the execution, I think, has been the issue for A.L.Brown defensively, you know, all season long. So remember, games at Hickory Ridge, not A.L.Brown if you're going. Don't know where it is, so good luck in finding it.
It's off of 49.
Off of 49.
Wonder fans are used to having home playoff games, but not tonight. Okay, so you could have a very good ball game, but it looks like for the most part we're picking Hickory Ridge with the exception of Jeff.